The market is trying to push you out of your position, especially with regard to your XRP. That's what one of the most prominent XRP chart analysts is saying. And I frequently come across statements like that. And when people say that the market is trembling, I know what they mean, as if they're trying to con you out of your money. That's how I interpret it. It might now be the total result of a specific market action. Nevertheless, based on their purposeful buying and selling, I don't think the smart money out there doesn't care about you. Whether you're rich or not doesn't seem to matter to them. Whether they are profitable or not is important to them. They don't care what you're doing. Specifically, they don't want you to lose. As long as they're able to make money, it makes little difference what happens. A significant number of people will make money. It's not exactly a zero-sum game here. Investing in XRP and selling it for a healthy profit can benefit a lot of people here. Therefore, it's not that the market is deliberately trying to harm you when things are volatile, particularly when they move to the downside. These are just the unavoidable outcomes of people and institutions acting in ways that serve their interests on a global scale. Therefore, the result could be harmful to you if you don't base your decisions on your judgment. There is a real risk involved, so I get the concept. I would agree with it, of course. I'm probably being picky, but that's how I see it written. I just don't get how people interact like that. Aside from that small criticism, this post is excellent. And look, there is a real opportunity to alter your life and become wealthy right now. I'm succeeding, yet there's nothing special about me. On the internet, I am just a person who goes by the absurd name Moon Lambo. If I can do this, you can do it. The majority of individuals won't become extremely wealthy using cryptocurrencies, though. But you can. The fact that there is an opportunity is what matters. You are accountable for making use of it. And that's definitely true with XRP in particular. But before I go any farther, I want to clarify I am not a financial counselor and I have no financial experience. Furthermore, you shouldn't be persuaded to buy or sell anything by anything I write or say. As a hobby, I like to make YouTube videos about topics relating to cryptocurrency since it highlights the fact that we have experienced similar situations that make people anxious. This post from the blockchain backer would be my first post. Cryptocurrency may look like the end of the world, but it's not. But we're sitting comfortably. For XRP holders, I'm not sure how true that assertion is. If you received it more recently and it's a tiny bit lower than when you bought it, you can feel scared since that's how people respond to stuff like that. I don't think the majority of XRP holders share that sentiment, though. There's no doubt that many of you listening have been using XRP for a while. Presumably, you are happy with it as it is now. You also understand that volatility is normal right now. It's also what we expected for the years prior to this, which is nice. But the market as a whole went crazy. We're scared, according to the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. That's where we are right now. A lot of fear. You seem to be in another universe, and I'm floating on a cloud. But at the top of the chart is the XRP USD chart. And that's in the current day and age. Below are charts. That is from the most recent market cycle, which ended in 2021. This is what the proponent of blockchain said. I've thought a lot about the wild pump and dump that we saw this week. Before the story, I recall that we had a similar situation in 2021, and the bull went full steam ahead. When Elon Musk added Bitcoin to his bio at 3A, on January 29, 2021, it increased by 20%. It fell that same day. Naturally, the comparison here would be Trump's announcement that he would put XRP and a few other coins in a strategic crypto reserve, which led to their rapid surge and subsequent decline. Thus, the article was entertaining. The disadvantage was also less pleasurable. At the end of the day, though, we're just going to keep receiving a bigger cryptocurrency pie, which is what I would have preferred if it had stayed there, so it was funny. Sometimes, though, these exuberant behaviors are simply that exuberant. It doesn't seem like a big problem now, he said anyway. But that's because in January 2021, over two-thirds of the population here were Elon Musk supporters. Since the mainstream media kept calling us a criminal industry, that was a turning point in the history of cryptocurrencies. Indeed, it is definitely true. That kind of thing feels great until it doesn't. And trust me when I say that sentiment and feelings were totally out of control during the previous bull run on many occasions. Furthermore, just because those feelings were in the gutter did not mean that the cycle ended. And the best signs aren't showing up here. That is, therefore, not the most likely situation. In this post, Dom, an expert on XRP charts, expressed his opinions. I know that some people who use cryptocurrencies are getting impatient. To be honest, there's no reason to be impatient here. He even admits, though, that he is getting a little impatient. And I will tell you straight out, I'm not. Every day, I'm having too much fun here, even in flawed markets. I'm not at all impatient. I had this long-term view even before I learned about cryptocurrencies, since I realized that I would need to be affluent enough to retire and not be dependent on the government or other people. You have to live a responsible life and limit your investments to uninteresting items like the stock market, ETFs, and the S&P 500. And for decades on end, you keep doing that. And it's okay. You have a lot of money at the end of the trip. That's all. After that, you can retire with dignity. Indeed, precisely. Here's where you can accomplish that. Things move a lot more swiftly now that I've applied the why of thinking to cryptocurrency. As a result, investment in the cryptocurrency asset class has the potential to greatly increase net worth. I still employ the same tactic, though, because even though I had no influence over the timing or magnitude of the market's boom, I knew that I would always want exposure. Then I go along with it. Therefore, my viewpoint hasn't altered in that respect. Price activity only ever scared me when I was first learning about cryptocurrencies. The years 2017 and 2018 have been fun since I jumped in November 2017, but I believed it may, while the market was down, I had that thought. But this makes logical sense, I reasoned. When the dollar cost average started, I paid 55 cents for XRP. The price of water decreased to 40, 45, and 50 cents, and I kept buying all the way. I'm examining the amount of money I had put in XRP when it fell to 25 cents. Over half of my money has been lost. I know how it feels. Nevertheless, after about 9 months, I gave in to reason. Even so, I have never experienced such emotional nausea from a market movement's unpredictability here. That's the only long-term approach I've used. I've never lost my tolerance since I have no patience at all. I had the same fear of unfavorable price action in those early phases that everyone else has had at some point. However, I have consistently stated that patience is a virtue. I'm still as patient now as I was 7 years ago because investing, especially cryptocurrencies, requires patience. This is what Dom said anyway. Believing that the market is deliberately trying to shake you out before the next move up is best done now. The purpose of even this price change is to undermine sentiment. This type of behavior typically only happens before to a big shift. Its purpose is to trap, shake out weak hands, and convince or cause people to question the obvious. Apart from the macro climate, cryptocurrencies are in a chaotic